Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Flash Zellow, Fiction Done Fast, the show where I take a bunch of writing prompts from my friends and the chat, as it would seem, and turn them into one-page short stories. For anyone who doesn't know, since like September or however long I've been doing this stream, it's just been my friends. But in the last couple of days, I actually started getting more and more from the chat. So that's a new thing. All right, how's everybody doing today? It's a bit late because my computer decided to update and then it decided not to update. And it just took a very long time. Better today. Yeah, how's the recovery going, Scarlet Fury? How's... everything on the mend? As we discussed, I think, yesterday... I think it was just yesterday, yeah. Scar Fury had a bit of a surgery the other day. Still woogie and tired, and standing up is hard, but better than yesterday. Woogie. I like that word. I'm going to assume you meant woozy. But I'm going to pretend you meant woogie. Alright. Not much to report here. Pretty mild day. Yeah. Fairly okay things. I've been working on... Let's see. I got this. I don't know how well it'll show up on the webcam in this light, but, oh fuck, I can't even see. Working on fantasy map for a series I've been working on for many years, but I wanted to do a bigger version of the map. I've been working on my horror novel, and so I occasionally need a break from just editing. So I try to work on little projects for other stories, other things, just to kind of keep things feeling fresh. So like I'll do some world building or work on the map, or, you know, try and come up with an in-world card game, shit like that. Just so I feel like I'm not just stuck on this one project. Actually, that's kind of what prompted the stream in the first place. I was like, I need to do something different. I mean, woozy is accurate, but woogie is what my brain said was right, so I'm gonna say it's a real word that means nauseous and dizzy. Woogie. Define. Unfortunately, this word... it directed me to boogie woogie. Percussive style of playing blues on the piano, characterized by a steady rhythmic round bass of eighth notes in quadruple time and a series of improvised melodic variations. So unfortunately, you're feeling... you're feeling the blues. There you go. No much else to report. Fiance has still been check out Urban Dictionary for woogie. I am more than happy not to. Fiance's been playing Witcher 3. She is almost 100 hours in and not anywhere close to finishing the game. So, maybe handing that game off to the OCD neurotic was a poor choice. A feeling of sickness and dizziness. All right. Lay down before you hurt yourself there, Tolkien. I'm also seeing that it says that it's a slang word for hair tie. Oh, this is the wrong. This is my fancy document for when when everything is finished and I have a name for it. This is the work document. Oh, where I do all the messy shit. I don't know if other writers do that. That is a big thing for me, is I need to have two documents. One that's, like, rough and one that's polished. Not just, like, different drafts, but, like, of the same draft. There's, like, the rough one that's got all the, like, notes and weirdness. And then there's the one that, like, if I suddenly need to share it with somebody, I don't feel guilty about doing it. So... yeah, again, I don't know if other writers do that or if I'm alone in that. Okay, we're down to 3 last. I'm gonna make a couple more of these. So I know Scarlet Fury saw it because I sent it to her, but since we are a topical Twitch channel, no, there's a thread of a bad take thread on Twitter. More than one, usually. But this one's about how fan fiction is... I don't even remember. It wasn't worth memorizing, but, you know. Fan fiction is making writers worse. It's weakening their writing. It's like... And the funny thing is, I can say both, no, you're wrong, but also I've never touched fan fiction before. I've never read it that I can think of, and I wrote some Jurassic Park fan fiction back in, like, elementary school, but then I did a writing club over the summer called Kids Write, and they wouldn't let me write, they wouldn't let me write Jurassic Park fan fiction, so I just stopped, and, like, if you look at my early fantasy, you're like, oh, this is just Blender fan fiction, not fan fiction for the 3D effects. But no, just, like, it's just all the shit that I knew and liked thrown in a blender, willy-nilly. So we're going to take a little bit of Tolkien, and we're going to take a little bit of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we're going to put that together. So, yeah, that's a thing that's just kind of floating around and on Twitter, and it was kind of nice seeing all the writers I like just kind of come together on Twitter and be like, no, they're wrong, moving on. I also saw somebody else on Twitter talk about a fantasy writer I like defending Wheel of Time, because apparently that was a thing that got brought up on their Facebook, and I don't like Wheel of Time. I think we talked about that on the stream before. It's just too long. But, like, you know, if you were on the ground floor of that, I'm you know, getting my friends to watch Supernatural was way easier back in 2009 than it would be now. No, I mean, fuck it. I'm 3 seasons from the end. I was like, oh, cool, they're ending the show, finally. I should catch up. One day I will catch up on Supernatural and Doctor Who and all the other Walking Dead and... Oh, God, I've got a whiteboard over there that actually has a bunch of television shows listed that it's like, oh, I gotta watch this someday. I gotta catch up. I still haven't watched fucking Daredevil Season 3. It's fine. One day. How about you, Scarlet Fury? You got any shows that you're just like, oh, I'm gonna get to this eventually? In the middle of Defenders now. How many years old is that? Defenders, Netflix, 2017. Okay, 4 years. Supernatural, I'm a bit behind. It's just, there's so much. It's such a big ask, even for the, and that's one of the things is when you're sitting through the good, like the bad parts, like, I think people generally concede that the Leviathan arc was pretty weak. And, that season 6, 7 slump where they were coming off, we have a plan to, shit, we're making it up as we go. I feel like watching that in real time was a lot less. I don't know how to put it. Like, especially when it's, like, to use Wheel of Time as an example, nobody knew how long it was going to be. I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't like Jessica Jones season 2. I thought it was very messy. I thought it did not compare well to the first season. Because that was actually the last thing I watched of the Netflix shows. I watched Jessica Jones season 2 and I was like, Defenders tested me, but Jessica Jones killed all my interest. And I feel real bad saying that because I thought Jessica Jones was I mean, you still might like it. I'm not here to gatekeep. You might still really enjoy it. Like, hey, Atanshi. How's it going, man? No, I just, season 2 just felt like a mess to me. Okay, this is gonna be a weird thing because it's still in the superhero genre, but I almost had a similar feeling to, like, Wonder Woman 84, where it's like, wow, the first movie is, like, actually really tight, and then, yeah, it's got those problems in the third act, and I mean, I could say that I think Jessica Jones was maybe a few episodes longer than it needed to be, where it was a really tightly focused story that maybe it should have been, like, 10 episodes instead of 13. But, like, I felt kind of, Wonder Woman, it's like, oh, this is really good. We forgive the third act, but this is really good. The third act is a bit weird, but we really like the rest of this, and it all really works. And then you get to, like, the season 2 or Wonder Woman 84, and you go, it's just messy. Actually, I felt the same. I'm going to go out there and say something that might be I think this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think this is a fine place to talk about it. I felt like Avengers Endgame was a really messy movie, which I thought was really weird because Winter Soldier and what's this little guy say? 2020 shred. I thought Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Infinity War were these, like, really tightly, crafted scripts. Whatever flaws I might have thought about those films, I thought they were just really tight, and all the pieces kind of just kept moving. And then Endgame just felt like this very sprawling, like, you guys didn't know what you were doing, right? I changed small parts of it. Yeah, I should have been saying that Miss Marvel was in. Nova. Wait. Who's Nova? Okay. Drax was shafted. I don't know if you've ever watched, there's a YouTube channel. I bounce in every once in a while. Not a lot, but, Nando V Movies, who did, an Avengers Endgame or not Avengers Endgame, it was, Infinity War, who actually pitched the idea of Drax dying naturally, not with the snap, but naturally in the Thor getting a new weapon arc. So basically what he said was the whole Thor getting Stormbreaker, there's no Yes, that. Oh wait, you've seen the video? Because I mean, if you've seen it, I won't bother re-explaining it. I mean, unless anyone else is curious, I guess you are not the only person here. But I guess I'll carry on. Um, yeah, it was the idea that there's no real stakes to that section because there's kind of a nothing gained, nothing lost. I mean, it's been like 3 years since I watched the video, but basically what he pitched was that for there to actually be a cost to Thor getting, his new weapon, when he's like buffing out and really showing off those muscles that, oh my god, I don't have, and he's getting burnt, he's holding the thing open, and he's getting. Now I'm self-conscious and my ability to describe what I've seen has just gone out the window. Anyways, while he's getting nuked by the fucking star, and he's getting all burned up and shit, Nando V Movie suggested him getting like blasted out, but the forging's not done, so Drax actually has to make the sacrifice, or Drax is the one who makes the sacrifice and basically says, with this weapon you can kill Thanos, and kind of having the resolution of his arc be that instead of being like, I have to be the one to land the blow, I'm going to give my life for the chance that we might be able to stop him down the line. And he climbs in and, pulls the lever, and he can't survive because he's not out Asgardian, but he holds it open long enough for the weapon to be forged. And so there's actually like a cost to this, to him getting the weapon. And yeah, as far as Endgame is concerned, there's just a lot of things that it just didn't, like, there were a lot of things I really enjoyed, and there were a lot of things that just didn't feel like they knew exactly what they were doing. I think a lot of that has been kind of well covered in various places around the internet. Things like, I mean, I've rewatched it and I still have fun with it. Again, it's more just the point I was trying to make is just the comparison of those first 3 movies that they did were really tight, and this one just feels like it kind of sags in a way, where it feels like there's just kind of a lot more stuffed in there than they really knew what to do with. The way I compared it or described it to my fiance after the movie was, it felt like some other writing team had done Infinity War, and they said, okay, here you go. And some new writing team had to come in and go, okay, I guess we're doing time travel? in the sense that, like, it didn't feel like, it had the same feeling as, like, to me, it had the same feeling as, like Back to the Future Part 2, or Pirates of the Caribbean 2, or the Matrix sequels, honestly, where you've got this really tight, solid installment, and then the sequel, it's almost like they were surprised by the sequel, but in this case we all know that they weren't. But it almost feels like there are things that are like, I mean, you mentioned Captain Marvel. They built up her presence. Like, Infinity War ends with the post-credit scene of, like, Nick Fury calling Captain Marvel. And then we get Captain Marvel's movie. And then Captain Marvel is in, like, 10 minutes of this film. It's like, wait, if you guys didn't know what to do with her, if you didn't have a role for her in the story, why is she here? I was like, the other guys decided that she was going to be important to the story. It's like, you were the other guys! So, she blew stuff up. Yep. That's what she do. Like, I like the Marvel movies. It's very weird because I've been a big comic book movie fan since I was a kid. I think I was like 9 years old when the first X-Men movie came out in 2000. Wait, I should be able to... 8 years old. I was 8 years old. So, like, I remember running around my backyard back in Illinois trying to explain to my grandfather, who was probably in his late 60s, trying to explain the X-Men to him, and him just going, mm-hmm. Old school, ex-military, worked as an electrician, built his own cars, built his own house, did not give a shit about genre fiction. Closest to genre fiction he got was watching Bewitched. So anyways, no, I could talk about... Marvel films is one thing I could probably talk about for as long as these streams normally are without running out of things to say. So I should go read my prompts and continue on. How are the prompts? They're all right. I actually got a bit of a dump today. So some of these I haven't even read terribly closely yet. So let's see what we got. So we have Atanchi. Hello. We have A Vampire and Their Reincarnated Love. We have from Tincture, we've got a couple. Noir detective style story about a character stuck in a Home Depot. The Dark Secret of Canada is all of their mounties are actually werewolf. Move? Hey there, werewolf. It's been a long day, man. Weremoose. And he was stuck in a house for a year with only a box of sociopathic cereal to help keep him fed. How will he reason with the grains in time to not starve? Only time will tell in the next thrilling episode of The Serial Killer. A dump? Is that all my brain power is to you? It's a bunch of junk! Sorry, labyrinth. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh no. No, I already did the prompt where a writer gets interrupted by his own ringtone. Lol, I get that reference. Hey! And we're back to the Avengers. Don't you have some, like, classic art prints from, like, original art prints from the Labyrinth or something? I can't remember. I think you do. Or your mom did. Where was I? Serial Killer, right? And then Viramat gave us The Angel of Death has a serious sit-down with his inept younger cousin, Natural Selection. Which is one of those prompts that I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I just love that it exists. I did have some original... You did have? As in you don't anymore? Because it's gonna make me real sad. Scarlet Fury. Okay, so actually Scarlet Fury dropped us some... Okay, I just copy-pasted this straight from Messenger. Okay, I'm afraid they'll be weird again, because, you know, drugs. But... A person is surprised when their celebrity crush knocks on their door asking for a place to hide from the paparazzi that's been chasing them. Good. Let's cut out your disclaimer there. In the lonely depths of January, in the mountains upstate New York, a woodsman finds a typewriter buried in the snow. Well, I gave them to my mom for her birthday, so she had them. I don't know if she still has them. Legal drugs. Oh, no, everybody knows Scarlet Fury. They're legal drugs. Sorry, I can see, it's dark now, so I can see my own reflection in my window, and it just looks like I'm having a stroke. Legal drugs! Ah! Prescribed to me. Yeah, they're legal, and they were prescribed to you, as opposed to illegal and prescribed to someone else. Mm-hmm. Come on, Scarlet Fury, keep convincing us. All I have to do is put air quotes and, put the emphasis on the wrong words, and we'll all know that you're telling the truth. You're mean. Hey, I'm not the one on drugs. Although I did break down. I've had 2 sodas this week. I had one yesterday and one today. I'm trying so hard to be healthier, but I'm so sad and tired and miserable all the time. Stop. Laughing hurts. Scarlet Fury, I need you to stop laughing. This is a matter of life and death. You don't understand. I can't even keep a fucking straight face. Oh, God. Stop laughing. It's not funny. Look at that. It's a funny face. It's a dog making a derpy face. Don't laugh. You're not allowed. Okay. A person is surprised when their celebrity crush knocks on their door and asks for a place to hide from the paparazzi that's chasing them. Where was I? For a more fun idea, the owner from Trilobitten, the owner of a junk shop desperately tries to convince a teen that the object that they are trying to buy really doesn't have any magical powers, but the kid won't take no for an answer. I have 3 sets of fine china and silver platters, and real silverware that I have inherited from different family members. I always joke that I could host the Queen of England, but what if I actually had to? I misread this the first time because I was just trying to copy it over real fast, and I thought it said be the Queen of England, and I was like, I'm pretty sure the Princess Diaries already exist, but alright. A girl plucks some flowers to make pressed flower bookmarks, but accidentally plucks a flower that was home to a fairy. Medieval adventurers sitting around a table at the local tavern try one-upping each other by telling their best adventures. I forgot about that one. Are you on drugs? Scarlet Fury, you doing drugs? Yes, you're doing drugs. We just covered this. Am I doing drugs? No, I'm not doing drugs. I'm just tired. Anyways. Just starts dripping and slipping into the existential breakdown. It's fine. Prompt idea. From Swooby. You're incredibly good at making decisions, but only in a very narrow field, and you're bad at the rest of the decisions. This doesn't feel like a prompt so much as a meta-commentary. I think they've worn off. You done there think they worn off, eh, Scarlet Fury? I'm tickled pink that they've done worn off. Worn off. Worn off. Oh. It concerns me that I think I'm funny. Okay. Oh, and from Plain Turnips, damn autocorrect. Why? Because we're all here to make you suffer. With love. I don't have any prompts at the moment. Aria suggests a blind narrator, and that's all. I don't know. I had a dream about a bleeding house recently. So, those are the prompts we got. Okay. And actually, we got quite a few. I'm actually really happy. Although, I will say, I mean, it's not much, but a buddy of mine who's thrown me a couple of prompts in the past, usually kind of the... If anyone was around for the Halloween story about the... imaginary friends coming to life, and the stories I did about synthetic children and stuff. That was my buddy Bizarro Reptar, and he looks like he caught COVID today, so it's not much, but you know, a little shout out to him. Hope he's okay. So let's see. Okay. Well, Atanchi, since... Oh, what'd I do? That was the wrong button. Atanchi, I think I'm going to give you a shot at your vampire prompt, and we'll see how that goes. This is my, when I try and tag things, I needed them just copy pasted somewhere. I'm so ready for this one. Oh, don't. I'm nervous. Don't put pressure on me. 119. So I think I mentioned yesterday that I was watching Jenny Nicholson's 2.5 hour retrospective on Vampire Diaries, and I was like, oh, I have an idea for the character's name, this vampire, and yep. There is, in fact, a vampire in Vampire. I was like, he'll be called Klaus. I was like, wait, that sounds really familiar. I think that's from the video I watched 2 days ago. Fuck. Fuck it. I never watched the show. Just the 2-hour retrospective breakdown of it. Damn. I have named a character Julia. Hey, Coffee Quills. Pretty good, but getting sleepy or have remained sleepy. Yes. I'm pretty sure Coffee Quills is in Japan. It should be around 11 there. I've been up since 8. I have a neighbor who leaves his car idle at 7:30 in the morning every weekday. His stupid engine is so loud it wakes me up. Been like that for 3 weeks now. It is not my favorite thing. Lol, my horse's normal breakfast time is 6 a.m., but on weekends I try to sleep in until 8, but around 7:30 they are almost always whinnying at me, telling me to get my lazy butt out of bed and come feed them. Sounds great! Okie dokie. Don't know if Atanshi is floating around. But, oh. Don't know if this is what they had in mind, but here's what we got. So, everybody ready for this? Let's see how this turned out. So the prompt was a vampire and their reincarnated love. And here's what I wrote. Let's jump into it. Liz stared into the vampire's blood-red eyes and leaned in close, nuzzling against his chest. It was chill, and she heard no sound. His heart didn't beat, his lungs didn't breathe, and she was pretty sure his stomach didn't make gurgling noises. A small price to pay, a small price to pay to be held in his arms. A vampire's arms. Liz felt her heart begin to race, and she was sure he did too. "What are you thinking about?" she asked, her voice a soft whisper. He smiled down at her, his fangs glinting in the firelight. Even if Klaus wasn't Even if Klaus wasn't cursed with immortality, bloodlust, and the looks of a Hollywood Chris, Liz may have been sold on the fireplace alone. "Just you, Elizabeth," he whispered back, his voice low and his words slow. "Why do you call me Elizabeth? Everyone else just calls me Liz." He hesitated, an uncommon thing. What? What is it? Was Elizabeth your dead girlfriend or something?" It was supposed to be a joke, but Klaus's wide eyes darted away. "Yes," he rasped. Liz pulled back, putting a few feet between them. "Why are you calling me your dead girlfriend's name? Don't you dare tell me I look like her." "You're the reincarnation of her?" he offered with a hopeful, cheeky smile. She crossed her arms. "Does that mean I look like her?" "Yeah," he said, his head hanging low. "But it's not like that. You are your own woman, a woman I love, the woman I love." "Mm-hmm," Liz said, tapping her foot on the cold tile. "That's so?" Liz, I have never loved like this in 600 years. "Not since Elizabeth?" The pained look on his face was answer enough. "Cool. Klaus, a few questions. What's my last name? My dog's name? Where do I work?" The half-a-millennia-old vampire stared at her with hopeless eyes and shrugged. "All right," Liz said, grabbing her bag. "We are so breaking up." Lol, poor guy. What? That they really are my alarm clocks. He'll be fine. He's 600 years old. At least. I like that one. I'm not gonna lie. I could see this. This feels like it's. This really feels like it stepped out of a Buffy episode or a Buffy spinoff. Like, it's got the very like genre flip of like. I was really trying for that like. The Twilight Vampire Diaries very like romantic scene. I guess and. Like, I think about gurgling stomachs. I don't know. Nothing like laying down on your significant other and just listening to their stomach talk at you. It's silly. But because then you start having a conversation with the stomach and your significant other is like, what are you doing? And you're like, shh, we're talking. Very important conversation. No, I really like that. Especially just that flip of like, don't fucking tell me you're dating me because I look like your ex-girlfriend. It's like, oh shit, son, you in trouble. Anyways. Motherfucker didn't know her last name, her dog's name, or where she worked. Do not lol poor guy him. He's a terrible boyfriend. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she didn't volunteer any of this information. Maybe this is actually a very complicated situation where, like, he was, like, trusted her enough to open up that he was a vampire, but, like, she didn't even tell him that she owned a dog. I mean, you know, who knows how deep this rabbit hole goes. Anyways. Oh. Like, I really like that story. I had fun with that. I don't know if anyone else really did. I don't know if that's what Atanshi was hoping for, but oh well. Okay. Let's look at some of the other prompts I had one that was kind of jumping out at me. We are on 120, ladies and gentlemen, those who lie us between. We're outside. So that's actually, I didn't mention before, but last time as of yesterday, we were 76% of the way toward having enough shorts of these flash pieces to constitute a whole novel. So, or a novel's worth of text. Obviously, this isn't, you know, like one ongoing novel. Yay. Okay. Whew. Alright. Oh, that one was getting kind of squirrely there at the end. I was like, oh, how am I going to fit this? But I think that worked out. Alright. Whew. I'm back. So, you ready for this, Scarlet Fury? Oh, this was hard because I was like, the minute I started writing this, I was like, there is a short story in here. Not a flash piece, but there's a short story worth of content here. Okay, let's just jump into it. Robin buzzed down city streets, a very uncharacteristic thing for a fairy such as herself to do. But she had no choice. Someone had taken her home and she had to find it. So up one street she zipped, down another she flashed, her wings aching and sore. Robin had never been this far from home before. Or home had never been this far away from her before. Fortunately, even in the city, the scent of magic stood out. Naturally, magic didn't grow well in cities after all, so all she had to do was follow the trail. And it led her right back home. Just like magic. Except, the magic she was sensing was far too big to be her little old house. Unless somehow they had managed to find a way to release all the magic, but no mortal could. Robin turned the corner and screeched to a halt. They had definitely released all the magic. Or unleashed, more accurately. A great tree man lumbered down the road while unicorns danced in the water of a fire hydrant. Not to mention the dragon snoring atop the apartment building, smoke curling from its nostrils. And in the center of the chaos stood a little girl, giddy as can be. Robin flew up to her. "A fairy!" the child cried. "Did you come for my bookmarks too? I'm Sammy." The little girl lifted a bookmark and held it up for Robin to see. A pressed flower bookmark. Robin's flower home had been pressed into a bookmark. Did you... Robin paused. Did you read all of this to life, Sammy? The girl nodded happily. I read so much, and more just kept coming. I believe it, Robin muttered, eyeing the bedlam taking place around them. Here is the thing, Sammy. My name is Robin, and that flower in your bookmark? That's my home. The little girl's eyes bugged out. I took your home? I'm sorry, I didn't know. She started to hand over the bookmark, but stopped. What about everything I read to life? How about this? Robin held out a hand. What if we all visit you in your dreams? Sammy smiled, shook Robin's hand carefully, and handed over the bookmark. Deal! Super cute. I'm glad you liked it. I felt like it was fun to kind of be like, well, what would happen if you took, like, obviously there was the version of this that, you know, there was, you know, I like the idea that the fairy's home is magical in some way, so I was like, what happens if you have a magic bookmark? And I was like, I know exactly what happens if you have a magic bookmark, because I was that kid. One of my favorite Goosebumps stories was the one about the kid who, the blob that ate everything, I think. But it was about a kid who finds, like, a magic typewriter that, like, anything he types comes true. The blob that ate everyone. Oh, I'm gonna be disappointed, because they all have the re-release covers now. I don't like the re-release. Like, it's fine. Ah, classic. So classic. So imaginative? What's imaginative? What are we referencing that's imaginative? Because if you're talking about me, I'll fucking take it. But that sounds way too much like a compliment to be coming from you. Oh. Well, thanks. What? It's not mean to say that you and I have a cantankerous relationship, and, you know, that if we were actually siblings, that, let's face it, if you and I were actually siblings, we would be the idiots who were wearing the "this is my we can't get along" t-shirt. I need us to get that. Hey, I don't think we can social distance with that shirt, but, you know, how are we going to explain that one to Dune Harper? Alright, bud. I need to get inside your girlfriend's t-shirt. Our t-shirt. We're going to be wearing a t-shirt together. Don't make it weird. But again, we would have been those kids, though. And then I have a picture of you and Frost in each other's shirts. I remember that. Because if I recall, during that game of Truth or Dare, Frost may have been dared to take off her bra, and then wasn't very, I put it in the freezer, because I'm an asshole. Why was anyone friends with me? Is it because I was funny? At least I was funny looking. That hasn't changed. Oh, must be my self-deprecating humor. Oh god, I don't remember that. Hey! Yeah, I did a lot of dumb shit back then. Hopefully harmless. To be honest, we played a lot of Truth or Dare back in the day. Yeah, but we did like the lame Truth or Dare that no offense. I'm not saying lame is a bad thing, but we used an app that was like, you know, you always hear about those wild Truth or Dare stories that end up, you know, like the reputation of a Truth or Dare story is like, oh, they played Truth or Dare, and then like things happen. It's like we played Truth or Dare, and it was just weird. Like we just got weird things. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do that. Okay. So, no, we played a lot of that particular brand of Truth or Dare, and we played a lot of Little Big Planet during that time. And I would get yelled at because I didn't want to decorate my sack boy. It's fine. I'm not bitter. Were you not there for when we had to touch each other's butts blindfolded and say whose butt was whose? Yeah, no, that doesn't sound familiar. I don't remember touching anybody's butt in that group except for Dune Harper's. For anyone just tuning in, we are both guys and we are both straight, so not much was gained from that transaction. It's a good butt, but you know. But yeah, no. I was not there for that one. How dare you play the interesting game without me? It's just like college. Which was apparently just like high school, except I didn't know. The only difference in college and high school is that I didn't know the parties I wasn't being invited to in high school. Anyways. I was there when we went trespassing on government property. I wasn't there for the butt touching. Can't be touching butts like that, though, guys. Can't be touching... Okay, I'm telling a story. I got Totes a Zombie from the chat. Hasn't been around for a while. Same night, Dune Harper and I got 7 minutes in Heaven Dare. You guys were already dating! It's not even a dare, it's just, hey, they're gonna go make out in the other room. That said, if anyone was just making out awkwardly in public, it was usually me. We just went and took a mini nap. That's true love right there. Yeah. Now, wasn't there a time where I was making out with my girlfriend at the time, and, like, whoever's house it was, his mom, like, poked her head in, and we just didn't notice? And we just kept going, and everyone was far too awkward to say anything? Which time? Touche. Touche. Fuck, I was gonna say something, but I don't remember what. Oh! Totes a Zombie, who used to pop into the chat every once in a while. He hasn't been around in a while. He moved, so. Went from Utah to California. But, apparently he went to a concert. Fucked up on drugs, alcohol. Yes, you and your girlfriend were always in the backseat making out. This is what you get for always putting me in the back seat. With my girlfriend. What was I supposed to do? No shame. You guys definitely, or at least Dune Harbor, definitely, I definitely got shame. I got shame for that bullshit. But no, Totes a Zombie went to a concert, was kind of fucked up on, let's just call it alcohol. But apparently he came to getting escorted out of the concert by security, and the guy was just going, can't be touching butts like that. Can't be touching butts like that. So that just became a recurring thing at parties, because hey man, can't be touching butts like that. Just can't be touching butts like that. Well, not for making out, for the volume of said making out. I'm gonna throw this out there, Scarlet Fury. You're making me sound a lot more successful with women in high school than I actually was. You're talking like Truth or Dare parties where people made out and touched butts, and like making out and like none of this. This is This is false reporting, fake news. Like yes, all of these things apparently happened, including the I mean that includes the party I didn't know that I wasn't invited to. What was I saying? Oh, my dating history is a sad thing to behold. It's fine. It all worked out. It just took a lot of trouble to get there. Anyways, let's move on, shall we? Somehow this started from like, I wrote a really cute story. Oh, significant other. I was like, it all leads back to the lovely "so you have now." I was like, I don't understand why this is capitalized. Oh, significant other. I mean, you could say that, but like, it was it was not a clean line. It was a tough. You know, in movies where the person, like, falls down the hill, but not, like, in the romantic, like, Princess Bride, like, as you wish, but more in, like, The Rundown, where the stunt doubles all ended up with broken bones because they threw themselves down cliffs. Yeah, it's more like that. So, does anyone remember The Rundown? It had, The Rock, early career The Rock with, William Scott? Is that Sean William Scott? Cool, 2003. Sean William Scott, yeah. Christopher Walken and Rosario Dawson. What a weird cast. But yeah, there's a scene where they just down like a hill and just hit every fucking tree on the way down. So, again, that's how my dating life felt. But it did work out. You have some of the best early dating stories. Yeah, it's because I was suffering. It's sitcom logic. I was miserable and unhappy, and weird shit kept happening to me. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's one of those things where I really have thought about this. Where I'm like, if there was a way for me to have what I have now, but have skipped some of the bullshit, that would have been real nice. Your life is a sitcom. Not as much anymore, honestly. Things are a lot more mellow or just drama now than they were. Like the weird, just like cosmic. You've got to be kidding. That happened to you? Okay, point of reference for anyone here who's still listening, who's not Scarlet Fury. I once was what I thought was flirting with a girl, and I thought it was going well, and she gave me her number at the end. Oh, sorry, did I say her number? That's wrong. She gave me her therapist's number. So yeah. I love you. Yeah. But like, that shit for years was just like, I don't know how this keeps happening to me. Like, it started with getting adopted by my... I was a homeless 16-year-old. I was adopted by my 16-year... by my I was 16 years old. I got kicked out of my house. I got adopted by my girlfriend's family. A week later, she dumped me because she was gay. Meets a girl, 2 sentences in. You're like a brother to me. It happened a lot, man. Like, it was... Okay, I will take the moment. I'm here. Fuck it. I will hop on my soapbox. Because every time... I had the weirdest relationship with the term nice guy. Because so many dudes, when they're like, I'm a nice guy, they're jackasses. That's, like, I've seen it in life. I've seen it online. I just, like... This is a fairly recurring thing. But I was always the guy who's like, no, I really am a nice guy. The minute you tell me no, I'm just going to get sad and walk away. And I mean, really, I mean, Atanshi, fuck it. I didn't just get the you're like a brother to me speech. I once got a girl, I took her on a date to homecoming, where she danced with a different guy, and then at the end of the night, when I walked her to her door, I asked if she wanted to go out again sometime, very nervously, because I'm an awkward motherfucker, and she put a hand on my shoulder and said, Shane, I don't do virgins. To which I responded, give me 30 seconds. And she laughed and went inside. And then she proceeded to date half of my friends. So, I just had the weirdest, like, again, you know, Scarlet Fury said somewhere up here, your life is a sitcom. For a lot of my, like, my teen years and, like, early 20s, that was just this recurring thing of, like, why does this weird shit keep happening to me? I don't know what exactly, I don't know. Having a retort almost saves it. Almost. It's all I had left. I didn't have dignity, and I don't have pride, but I sometimes have a quick tongue. And a smart mouth. So, yeah, just weird things kept happening. Again and again and again and again. So, I'm very glad that those days are behind me. Again, Cassie and I just celebrated our 7-year anniversary. Give or take. We had to make up a bit of an anniversary because our first year together was kind of tumultuous. So we had to be like, okay, fuck it, we'll take the day from this event and the year from that event. So. Oh, man. It's nice things are much calmer than they were back then. But okay, Scarlet Fury's not wrong when she says I have some of the best early dating stories. They are ridiculous. And I should write this shit down. Somebody should write a story about this. Oh wait, I'm a writer! It's been 11 years and Dune Harper can't decide which day is our anniversary. Fair. What dates are you back and forthing? Because it took Cassie and I a whole year to become, like, official. So we take the year was 2014, but we take the day from, and while you're typing that up, I assume you're typing that up, I don't fucking know, but Cassie had a gay roommate who, we went out for lunch at the local Hong Kong buffet. Oh man, that was a thing that used to be a thing you could do. Fuck. But we went to the Hong Kong buffet, and I got a plate of food, and I sit down, and her gay roommate, Andrew, goes, so Shane, I have a boyfriend, does Cassie? And I almost ran. I literally looked at my food like, I can just go. I can get to the door before anyone can stop me. But instead, I said, yeah. And we were official. It only took 11 and a half months. See, this is the downside of the really funny early dating stories, is they left me with, like, such bad commitment issues and just like, oh shit, things are bad, run! So, like, it was so hard for me to... I was literally in therapy at the time, like, weekly, just like, okay, I'm trying to tell her I like her, because I like her. You think? I'm pretty sure. I know that I like her until I think about it, and then I panic, and then I want to run. And somehow, I found the girl with just the most goddamn patience in the world. And that's not just in the past. That's not just back then. Like, this is still, she's so much patience for the weird shit I do. Oh, it's been 11 years. The day we kissed, our third date. He told me 1 year it'll be this day. So I said, okay, I put it in my calendar as official anniversary. Next year, nope, it's the other day this year. He says that this is the official day and go back and forth every year. He can't remember which day he said the year before. That's a cute story. My memory is so fucking shot when I'm on stream that you said that's a cute story, and my brain was like, can't be touching butts like that. I'm like, I know that's not the story she means. And my brain's like, but it could be. I'm like, we both know that's not the story she means. It's like, but it could be. But. Can't be touching butts like that. This is probably a fair point to end the stream. Cause I'm in a mood. I should end things before the stories got even weirder. Although I'm trying to think if there's any other just like super duper quick ridiculous dating stories other than the lesbian ex-girlfriend sister, which was just, that's a great way to introduce her at parties. Like, this is my sister, I used to date her. And then when people like get that horrified look, I'm like, I'm adopted, and it happened after we dated. While we dated. She dumped me a week later. We only dated for like 3 months, which is one of those things about high school that you look back on and you're like, oh god, we dated. It's like Scarlet Fury, any of the girl, like Lexi, my girlfriend Lexi. We dated for like 3 months. That's it. Doesn't even feel real. Like, at this point, I don't even consider somebody a friend if I've only known them for 3 months. So, it feels like it was longer. Yeah, I mean, well, everything when we were teenagers feels like it was longer, you know? Like, high school was only 4 years. Obviously, high school was only 4 years. But when I think about, like, 4 years ago now, I'm like, oh yeah, that was like a blink of the eye. 2016? Or 2016, 2017? Yeah, that was like, just like, oh, that was the same amount of time. I swear I saw y'all hold hands in the hallways much longer than that. Yeah, no, and it feels like she complained about my hobo gloves much longer than that. They're hard to hold. It's hard to hold your hands while you're wearing those. Yeah, but my hands are very warm. We haven't talked in years. There's probably a reason. What? The avowed atheist and the devout Mormon don't really get along in adulthood. Go fucking figure. She went to BYU. Oh my god. Ah. It's fine. I respect everybody's beliefs. No, I don't. Fuck it. I try to treat people with respect. Regardless of how much I do or don't respect a person's beliefs. Anyways, actually, Scarlet Fury, I distinctly remember a day where you made a joke about, like, wouldn't it be funny if in, like, 10 years you, like, found religion? And I got really pissed about it. I took it personally. I tried not to, like, I understood that you were joshing me, so I was trying not to get, like, super angry about it, but I always, like, was like, no, she's wrong. I'm not gonna do the fucking thing. And I just want you to know, 10 years later, I still haven't. I'm just as much of an asshole as I ever was. I'm just as much of an asshole. I'm just so tired all the time. I don't have it in me. Okay. So, I know a pastor that used to be a Satanist. A pastor? Wow. I didn't know that a land covered in grass and other low plants suitable for grazing animals, especially cattle, could, you know, be a Satanist. But you never know. I really shouldn't assume the religious beliefs of grass. What did his grass parents think? I think it's fair to say that I'm almost 30 years old. My phone knows what I normally talk about. I'm almost 30 years old. I think it's safe to say that shit fucking sailed, crashed, and sank to the bottom of the ocean. And it ain't religion. See, I just don't use auto. I don't use like autocorrect or autofill. The minute I get a phone, I turn that shit off. He was 45. Yeah, but like, how long ago was the thing? And also, fair question: was he raised religious? How long was he a Satanist? There are all kinds of questions worth asking in that situation. Alright. Like I said, I think I'm going to wrap things up here. 16 years? Alright. I'm pretty sure this is the same person you told me. Like, I think this is the same person you used as reference last time. This feels the same. 16, no, 26. Alright. So it looks like Coffee Quills is still on, so I think we're going to pop over and say hello to her. How's that sound? Rain. Coffee. Quills. Good. Thanks for the fun stories. You are very welcome. And you're wrong, I'm never going to turn to religion. Bye. Oh, did I actually say that out loud? I will see you guys in the next one. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to write. And remember, no heroes in 2021. Woo!